For this particular map, we're just going to go ahead and click on Map. Here you want to make sure you navigate to, once again, your Exercise 1 folder. So that's where we're going to put all of our stuff. And let's call this Exercise _01. And if you want to get in the habit of putting your last name at the end of things, for example, _Baker, that's cool. That's fine. You don't have to, but it is a good habit to get in this particular class. Create a new folder for this project. You can if you want to. I'm going to go ahead and click off on this particular one. It took about 1 minute for everything to come up, so just to kind of give you an awareness as far as how long things take. I'm cutting out the pauses, so we're moving through this video quicker than what it might be on your screen. All right, so what we have over here is the catalog pane, and over here is the table of contents or the contents pane. So if you ever want to view them, if you come back and you can come to the view button, and it'll help you as far as having these pop back up. And so table of contents, TOC, contents pane, and catalog pane. You're going to hear me say those terms a lot. All right, let's get going. Let's start adding some data to our particular map. And so we got our folders. So if you see, go ahead and click on your folders, and you should see the ones that we added included in there, along with the geodatabase. And so a geodatabase has been created for you automatically by ArcGIS. All right, we'll come back to that later in the semester. All right, for this particular assignment, what we're trying to do, the objective here is we're trying to find the number of recreational facilities that are inside Indianapolis neighborhoods. Maybe making the argument that maybe there's some injustice happening. Maybe certain neighborhoods don't have recreational facilities, while other neighborhoods have too many recreational facilities. I honestly don't know the answer, and so let's hopefully maybe we'll find out something or get a little bit of an indicator from that by this exercise. And so go ahead, and what we'll do is we'll continue to cause these, these cascading of these particular folders, the Indy neighborhoods, the PLSS counties, and the recreational facilities. And now what we'll do is we'll right-click on the smallest files that we see in these folders. In this case, look for these in particular, the indyneighborhoods.shp. That means it's a shape file. So right-click on that, add to current map. Then go to the Land Survey County polyin.shp. Right-click on that, add to current map. Then go down to the recreational facilities, idnrin.shp, and right-click on that. So now we've added to our map the recreational facilities that are found all throughout Indiana. We added just the Indianapolis neighborhoods that have been designated by the Marion County, by Indianapolis, the Indianapolis Open Data website. And then we've also added to that the county layers for all of Indiana. And if we go over to the table of contents, we can see all of these shown. So what I can do is, if I don't want the recreational facility shown, I just click that off. Also, what I can do would say if I want to have the Indy neighborhoods up top, I want to have it at the very front. I can just move it up to the top, and it would say I want to have. And so now you can see how you can kind of change the order of these and how that then is reflected in the map window. And so now that I've adjusted the table of contents, the drawing order, I can kind of describe, okay, what are we trying to do again here? All right, so what we're trying to do is we have these individual Indy neighborhoods that are these polygons here, this blue layer here. And what I can do is if I right-click on Indy neighborhoods, I can go ahead and hit the label button. And anytime in GIS when you see this happening, that means we're drawing. This means be patient, hang in there, it's still working. And so now you can see the neighborhood names there. So if you're maybe familiar with Indianapolis, those should look familiar. All right, let's go ahead and I'm going to turn the labeling off. And so what we're doing here is we're trying to, in these individual polygons, we're essentially just trying to count the number of recreational facilities, the number of dots that are inside each of those neighborhoods. But one of the challenges we have, or one of the problems, one of the tasks or the hurdles, is the fact that we've got a lot of this extra stuff that we don't need. We're just looking at Marion County. So the objective of this map is just to display Marion County data and Marion County information. So one of our first steps we're going to do is to remove all of the recreational facilities that are not located within Marion County, which gets me to the purpose of the county layer. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to right-click onto the county layer. So if I right-click on there and look at the attribute table, and I should see, once again, a polygon, so it's going to show area and perimeter. I should see all the counties listed here. What I'm going to do is scroll down to Marion. I'm going to select it so that it's highlighted in blue. Go ahead and we can close out. It's still selected, and so now Marion County is selected. So I'm going to go over here to the county map, right-click, go to Selection, and say Make Layer. So essentially make a new one over here, draw a new layer over here from the selected features. In this case, the selected features being Marion County. And you should now see this particular long designation here for this new Marion County layer. Okay, so let's just make this a little bit better. So if you can go to Properties, right-click on Land Survey, and you can just change this to Marion County. So then it'll change the labeling over here in the table of contents. So we can now remove all the other. Okay, so now we're moving one step closer. Now what you're going to do is you're going to go up to the toolbar and do a select by location. So we're going to select recreational facilities that are inside Marion County. So we're selecting by location. These are located within this particular boundary here. So we'll go to select by location. And after about a minute of doing some geoprocessing, this now over here on the right side, this geoprocessing pane has now opened. For the input features, we're going to put in the recreational facilities. That's our input feature. The relationship, we can, on the drop down, we want to find completely within. So we're looking for recreational facilities completely within Marion County. And so that's essentially our rules for this particular situation. Hit the Run button. And we see now it's selected all of the recreational facilities that are located within Marion County. So now we'll do the same thing we did with the counties. We'll right-click on recreational facilities, have a selection where we make a layer from the selected features. We can then get rid of the other one and then rename to something we can understand a little bit more. All right, next up what we're going to do is we're going to make Marion County hollow. So we're going to click on the symbology. So what we have is we have Marion County over here in the table of contents. Click on the symbol, and let's do a black outline. Let's do a thin one. So what that's going to do is now going to, not only did it help us as far as creating this feature that we can now have, okay, recreational facility must be within this certain particular polygon. Okay, it was useful for that, but it's also going to be useful kind of as a nice border for our Marion County particular layer here. So now our next step is to count the number of dots that are in each of these individual polygons or in each of these individual neighborhoods. And to do that, we'll go to Analysis and then click Tools, and that should now create a new geoprocessing pane in which you have several favorites, toolboxes, other ones we'll be using this semester, and then the portal. Go ahead and go to the toolboxes, click on Analysis, click on Overlay, and then we'll do the Spatial Join feature. For our target features, we're going to use the Indie Neighborhoods. So that's our target. So essentially that's our, let's just say, our cookie cutter. And so we're wanting to join with that the recreational facilities, the new layer I just created. So if you haven't been cleaning yours up, make sure that you're putting the right one in here. And this is the newest one. This is the one that are just the ones in Marion County, recreational facilities. So the output feature class, let's call this, what do we want to call this class? We'll call it Indie Rec Neighborhood. Neighbor. See if that's good. Yeah, we'll do that. Then click Run. And after about a minute, the spatial join has been completed. And so we go to the new Indie Rec Neighbor, the new layer that's just been created. So if I right-click on that, open up the attribute table, we should see very early on, in fact, this join count. So essentially what it's done is it's counted the number of recreational facilities, and then if we look over here, this is the name of the neighborhoods. And so what I can do is I can then, on the join count, click that top, and then right-click, sort descending, and we can see that Lawrence, the Fort Bend, Oaklandon neighborhood has the highest number. But you know what? This is kind of hard to tell. We've got to do one more step, and that's we've got to now display this data. All right, what we'll do is you'll go to the Indie Rec Neighbor layer. You'll right-click it and then do Symbology. And now over here we should see on the right-hand side the Symbology pane open up. So what you're going to do is you're going to vary the symbology by attribute, which is the green button, the second one over from the left. As far as the vary symbol by attribute, let's do it by color. Then choose the field, the join count, which is once again the number of recreational facilities that are found in each of those neighborhoods. And you can see a default color scheme has already populated this particular map. So just knowing what I know, that Fort Bend, Lawrence one is this particular polygon up there. So a lot of the function of why it has so many recreational facilities is it's really, really big. But what we have here is we have our essentially a choropleth map that shows varying levels within these neighborhoods, and so the darker means the higher number of recreational facilities, and then the absence of recreational facilities like we see over here by the airport have white space. And so it's up to you as far as choosing a color scheme. So there's the drop down. Choose one that you think is cool, one that you think shows the data well. Now that we're getting close to finishing this map and starting to publish it, let's save it. This is something you probably should have been doing already. Bad on me to not remind you, but the save button up here, save the project, something I encourage you to do all the time. And you can also just Control S, like most things in Microsoft, also another way to constantly save it without having to go up and click that button every single time.